Welcome to another video on the Stoic channel. Today we're diving into a powerful journey of self-discovery and inner growth. In this 1-hour special, we'll explore the timeless world of Stoicism, a philosophy that has guided countless people toward true happiness, lasting wisdom, and inner peace. Throughout this journey, we'll unpack the essential teachings of Stoicism, from the enduring wisdom of Marcus Aurelius to core principles that can truly transform your life. We'll uncover the secret to happiness through the idea of Amor Fati, or the love of fate. Learning to embrace whatever life brings our way, you'll learn about the Stoic view of life's dualities, a powerful lens that can help you make clear decisions and find calm in the middle of chaos. We'll also talk about 6 key habits that go against Stoic thinking, habits that can disrupt your peace and clarity. And you'll discover how to become the master of your own life by building a Stoic routine, cultivating calm, and developing unshakable inner strength. Let's take the reflections of Marcus Aurelius and use them to create fulfilling, productive days, and learn how to overcome procrastination by using Stoicism as our compass. So let's begin this Stoic journey, aiming for a more meaningful and grounded life in today's fast-paced world. Finding peace and purpose can be tough, but don't worry, Stoicism offers the tools you need. Explore the practical wisdom of this ancient philosophy and learn how to build a daily routine that brings you balance, growth, and deep serenity. Stoicism is your ally on the path to a more virtuous life. With guides like Epictetus, Seneca, and Marcus Aurelius, this philosophy has stood the test of time, and it remains incredibly relevant to help you become stronger, calmer, and more deeply fulfilled. Ready to change your life? Join us on this adventure of self-mastery. We'll explore how to build a morning and evening routine that sets you on the path to greatness. Wake each day with intention and energy. Reflect on the 4 cardinal virtues: wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance, your moral compass for making bold, balanced decisions. Gratitude will be a powerful ally. Be thankful for every blessing, every experience, and every person who enriches your life. You'll see how appreciation brings joy and frees you from dissatisfaction. Start your day by mentally preparing for what might go wrong. Negative visualization. By imagining possible challenges, you'll be more equipped to respond with wisdom and grace. Bring Stoicism to life through writing. Keep a journal where you note your intentions, emotions, and observations. This becomes your lighthouse, a steady guide through life's storms. Show up in the world with Stoic elegance. In a noisy, distracted world, stay focused. Practice justice and compassion in every interaction. Open your heart to a deeper understanding of the human experience. Face difficulties with poise and perspective. Remember, you can only control what's in your hands. Wisdom will guide you. As the day winds down, take time to recharge. Reflect on what happened. Learn, grow, and move forward. Accept imperfection and commit to getting better one day at a time. Set your intentions for tomorrow. Walk into the future with strength, courage, and clarity. You are the architect of your life. Use Stoicism as your blueprint. Customize your path to success based on your dreams, values, and daily commitments. Stoicism is flexible. Make it yours. Keep your Stoic practice alive with consistency. This philosophy gives you a powerful path for growth. Bring Stoicism into your relationships, your work, and your personal goals. In a world full of change and uncertainty, Stoicism will be your anchor, your guide to resilience, balance, and peace of mind. Step forward with purpose. Wisdom is always within reach. Each day brings a new chance to grow and learn. Let gratitude and the 4 cardinal virtues light your way. Focus your attention on the blessings in your life. You'll find that appreciation dissolves any trace of dissatisfaction or lingering desire. In this sincere state of gratitude, welcome each day feeling whole and joyful. Make thankfulness a daily habit, because everything you've experienced has shaped your progress. As Emerson said, include it all in your gratitude. Start your day with negative visualization. Imagine the potential obstacles, setbacks, or interruptions that could arise. But don't stress. You're ready to meet them with wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. This practice builds quiet resilience, helping you adapt and grow through any adversity. You'll navigate uncertainty with calm and confidence. Now, write it all down. Journaling is a time-tested Stoic practice. Take a few moments each morning to reflect and set the tone for your day. It will keep you grounded and inspired. As we go through life's ever-changing landscape, we're going to face trials that test our will, but Stoicism gives you the tools to stay grounded and resilient. When stress shows up, remember, your strength comes from within. Turn to reason and reflection. Focus only on what you can control. Let go of what you can't. In doing so, you respond to stress with grace, strength, and clarity. The most important task in life is this: learn to separate what's in your control from what isn't. That's where your power lies, not in the outside world, but in your choices. Epictetus reminds us, don't look for good or bad in what you can't control. Look inward, in your intentions, your actions, your responses. Wake up every day knowing it's another opportunity to grow, learn, and become better. Embrace life with purpose. Let Stoicism be your foundation for a life well lived. Turn distractions into opportunities for focus. The modern world pulls at your attention constantly, but as a disciplined Stoic, you practice temperance and moderation. When distractions arise, acknowledge them, then gently bring your focus back to what matters. This builds inner calm and helps you unlock the full power of your mind. In your relationships, show Stoic virtues, justice, compassion, and wisdom. Every encounter is a chance to leave a positive mark. Be mindful of how your words and actions impact others. Through each interaction, learn and deepen your understanding of what it means to be human. You'll encounter unkindness, selfishness, betrayal, and disrespect. But remember, they come from ignorance of what is good or bad. You know better. You've learned the nature of good, the pettiness of evil, and the divine spark in all people. We are all connected by reason, so don't let anyone drag you down into anger or resentment. As Marcus Aurelius said, just like hands or eyelids, we're meant to work together. Fighting each other goes against nature. Let go of frustration, embrace challenges, grow from them. Through negative visualization, daily journaling, and the practice of gratitude, you'll turn life's trials into stepping stones toward your best self. As the sun sets, reflect. Review your actions and choices. Like Seneca said, we become worse not because we do wrong, but because we don't look back. We plan for the future without understanding our past. Forgive yourself. Commit to improvement. With compassion and understanding, move forward stronger than ever. Personal growth is a lifelong journey. Learn from your mistakes and make a real commitment to becoming better. Nurture inner peace and self-acceptance while continuing to evolve on your path. As the day ends, take a moment to reflect. Use the wisdom gained from your experiences to set meaningful intentions for the new dawn. Let each decision, each action, and each interaction be guided by Stoic virtues. In doing so, you'll begin to shape a life of harmony and purpose, grounded in the principles of Stoicism. Before sleep, create a space for calm. Practice deep breathing, visualization, or other relaxing techniques. Let go of the day's stress. Ease your body and mind into rest. This is how you prepare yourself to greet each new day as a gift, a fresh chance to grow and learn. Life has a way of showing us both the best and the worst. We experience joy, fulfillment, love, and health, but also pain, loss, illness, and tragedy. Life can seem unfair, like a river we can't control. But as Epictetus said, don't fight the threads of fate. Embrace them, love them. Only through that acceptance can we find peace. In Stoicism, this acceptance, this embrace of fate, is known as Amor Fati. It means loving your life completely, not just the good parts, but also the hardships, as if everything that happens is the perfect gift meant for you. It sounds easy to say, but it can feel impossible to do. How can we love suffering? How can we be grateful for the loss of a loved one? How can we find beauty in pain? Some might think the Stoics were out of touch, but they knew exactly what they were saying. Why? Because for a Stoic, someone like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, or Epictetus, loving life with all its highs and lows was the most powerful way to grow in virtue and find lasting happiness. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Love your fate, no matter what shape it takes, because only by accepting every moment can we find true serenity." Seneca added, "Amor Fati means loving the entirety of your existence, including your failures and mistakes, because they are your teachers. They help you grow in wisdom." Practicing Amor Fati is not easy, but difficult doesn't mean impossible. It just means it takes effort, and anything truly valuable is worth the effort. In this video, I'll try to help you put Amor Fati into practice so you can become more virtuous and ultimately happier. I'll divide the video into two parts. First, we'll talk about what fate means for a Stoic and why it should be embraced. Then, I'll give you 5 practical tips to live this philosophy daily. Before we begin, I'd really appreciate it if you gave this video a like. It helps spread this philosophy to more people. And if you don't want to miss future content, consider subscribing and hitting the bell icon. I'll also leave a link in the description with my other social media channels where I share more Stoic content. The ancient Stoics didn't believe in randomness. They believed the universe runs on rational laws created by the divine. Everything in nature follows a purpose and fits into a greater order. That includes us. According to the Stoics, this same rational law exists within each of us, within our conscience. That's how we're able to recognize virtue and reason. When we live in harmony with our conscience, we live in harmony with the universe. The rational plan the cosmos has for each of us is what we call fate. It's unique to every person, but always part of a greater whole. So everything that happens, good or bad, is necessary and meaningful, even when we don't understand it. That's why even in our darkest moments, we must strive to look beyond ourselves, to accept the order we've been given, and live with serenity. That's the essence of loving our fate, but it's crucial to understand the difference between acceptance and resignation. Resignation is passive, it means giving up, but acceptance is active, it means recognizing what is and choosing to act wisely within that reality. This is where the Stoic dichotomy of control becomes essential. Most things in life, our health, disasters, miracles, even death, are out of our hands. What we can control is how we respond, our judgments, our choices, and our will. Epictetus put it beautifully. The will is the one thing we control. Nothing else can govern it. We have the incredible power to choose our response to life's challenges. We can resist, or we can lean in, align with virtue, and live fully. That's what Stoic freedom is. The freedom to choose how we live, no matter what fate brings. Good moments will bring joy, but remember, they won't last forever. Bad moments will test us, but they shape us. They make us stronger. Both are necessary. To truly practice Amor Fati, we need courage to face the storms life throws at us. But through that courage, we also grow in wisdom and justice. We learn to give every moment what it deserves and understand the deeper law that governs our lives. When we see our fate as a gift, we become more in tune with the 4 Stoic virtues. Amor Fati isn't just about acceptance, it's about transformation. You start to realize that your life, exactly as it is your best opportunity to grow, to serve, and to live with purpose. Without effort, without sacrifice, there is no real happiness. And without acceptance, we can never truly be free. To close this video, I want to share some Stoic quotes about Amor Fati. Seneca said, "Fate leads the willing and drags the unwilling." He also wrote, "No man is more miserable than the one who is untouched by adversity, for he's never been tested." Marcus Aurelius wrote, "It's human nature to love what fate has assigned us." And Epictetus added, "Don't wish for events to happen as you want. Wish for them to happen as they do, and your life will go well." So, what do you think about the Stoic idea of Amor Fati? Are you at peace with your destiny? Is there something in your life you've struggled to accept, or something you've finally embraced just as it is? Let me know in the comments. And remember, the person who becomes aware of their chains has the power to break them. Time and energy, 2 of our most valuable resources. Yet we often find ourselves constantly thinking about what we need to do, without actually taking action. Stoicism teaches us that postponing our tasks can lead to not fulfilling our personal and professional responsibilities. It can damage the quality of our work, our reputation, and the trust others place in us. By honoring integrity and duty, the Stoics viewed procrastination as one of the greatest forms of disrespect toward oneself. It increases stress and anxiety as tasks pile up and deadlines close in. This constant tension affects both our mental and physical health, clouding our minds and robbing us of inner peace. Picture this: you've got an important project with a strict deadline. Instead of breaking it into manageable steps and working on it consistently, you delay everything until the last minute. Now the pressure is overwhelming. You're stressed and struggling to meet the deadline. Planning your work and honoring your commitments is a gift you give yourself. It's much more effective to spread the workload over several days than to cram everything into one. Procrastination is a destructive habit. It goes against Stoic principles and leads to wasted time, missed obligations, and rising anxiety. But it's not unbeatable. We can overcome it through planning, discipline, and focusing on what truly matters. One tip: never make promises when you're overly emotional, especially when you're feeling euphoric. In moments like that, our emotions take the wheel instead of clear thinking. Before making a commitment, reflect. Don't make decisions when you're riding a high or feeling isolated. Avoid impulsive choices. The second habit is lying. Lying is far too common in modern society, but it's deeply harmful. The liar becomes a prisoner of their own fears, and sooner or later, those fears catch up with them. Lies damage truth and integrity. The Stoics held honesty and truth as pillars of a virtuous life. Every time we lie, we distance ourselves from those ideals and compromise our character. Lying weakens the quality of our relationships and erodes trust. Once discovered, a lie makes it hard, sometimes impossible, to regain that trust. In healthy, enriching relationships, mutual respect and trust are essential, and lies break that foundation. Lies also create a false reality. They trap us in a web of deceit, leading to a cycle of more lies, which only gets more exhausting. The result? More stress, more anxiety. Take this example. You come across a sensational news story on social media and instantly share it without checking the source. Later, you find out it was fake. You feel misled and maybe even ashamed. Worse, You've now spread false information that could have influenced others. Believing everything we hear is another destructive habit. It kills critical thinking and leaves us vulnerable to manipulation. We must learn to verify information, compare sources, and most importantly, form our own conclusions. A person who lacks independent thinking and doesn't apply their own judgment is easily controlled by the world and by others. The third habit, poor communication skills. Effective communication is essential in both personal and professional life, but somehow we've lost the art of good conversation. People no longer genuinely care to listen. They talk past each other. This leads to misunderstandings and conflict. The Stoics understood the importance of harmony and cooperation. Poor communication threatens these values. If we can't express our needs and emotions, we end up feeling frustrated, unheard, and disconnected. The Stoics encouraged authenticity and self-expression, both crucial for meaningful conversations. We're social beings by nature. We're meant to connect and communicate with clarity and intention. Talking with someone should be enriching, not shallow or pointless. The inability to communicate effectively is a destructive habit that keeps us from resolving conflicts and expressing ourselves fully. To improve, expand your vocabulary, read more, consume meaningful content. One powerful tool is active listening, something that's helped me immensely. Instead of thinking about how you'll respond, focus on truly hearing what the other person is saying. This brings flow to the conversation and helps the other person feel seen and valued. The fourth habit is constant comparison. Even if unintentional, you might find yourself always wanting to outperform others. That drive can eat away at your self-worth and happiness. Comparing yourself to others can leave you feeling like you're never enough. There will always be someone who seems more successful, wealthier, or more talented. The Stoics teach us to focus on our own growth and to appreciate what we already have. Constant comparison makes us lose sight of who we are. It tempts us to mold ourselves to fit someone else's standard, and that's not sustainable. Remember, you can pretend for a while, but in the end, you are who you are. Imagine constantly comparing yourself to your coworkers, always feeling like you're falling behind. That pressure leads to burnout, dissatisfaction, and distance from your true self. Comparison is a destructive habit. It disconnects us from our identity and authenticity, but it changes the moment you realize it's pointless to always keep your eyes on others. If you don't find what you're looking for within, you won't find it anywhere else. You'll be much happier once your main goal becomes becoming better than who you were yesterday and only competing with yourself. The fifth habit is blaming others. In today's world, it's common to see people constantly pointing fingers, avoiding responsibility for what happens in their lives. But blaming others strips us of our power. When we blame, we give away control over our own lives. The Stoics emphasized a crucial point: know what's within your control and what's not. Blaming others distances us from that understanding. It creates a victim mentality and emotional dependence. We become reliant on others for our peace and stability. When we refuse to take responsibility, we miss opportunities to learn from our mistakes and grow. This habit keeps us from becoming the person we're meant to be. The Stoics remind us, embrace responsibility. Understand what's within your control and own it. Don't fall into the trap of blaming the world for your circumstances. As people of value, we must be aware of these behaviors and committed to overcoming them. It's a daily effort toward a life of virtue, wisdom, and inner peace. I invite you to reflect on these habits in your own life. Be brutally honest with yourself, and remember, only the individual can break the chains they've allowed to bind them. From here on, it's your path to build. Moral evolution isn't about erasing old beliefs. It's about examining them and deciding which stay, which go, and what new values deserve a place in your code. My own ethical compass, and perhaps yours too, is shaped by many influences. I recognize the power of forgiveness. I treat others how I wish to be treated. I don't envy what others have, and I deeply appreciate the good that life brings me. We suffer more in imagination than in reality. Back in 300 BC, in the city of Citium, lived a wealthy merchant named Zeno. While sailing from Phoenicia to Piraeus, a storm sank his ship and all his cargo. In one moment, entirely out of his control, he lost everything. Now imagine you're Zeno. How would you react if your life's work disappeared overnight due to forces of nature? Most of us would be angry, heartbroken, or feel betrayed by life, but not Zeno. The father of Stoicism responded differently. One small shift can last forever, and one small change in mindset can lead to profound transformations. Zeno didn't waste time mourning spilled milk, or in this case, sunken goods. Instead, he focused on maintaining composure, accepting what happened, and moving forward. Today, Stoics are often seen as emotionally detached, people who don't get angry or anxious. But the truth runs deeper. Stoicism wasn't just about suppressing emotion. It was about understanding life on a deeper level. It was a way of seeing, describing, and navigating the world, a philosophy that has endured through the centuries, and it still applies today. Equally powerful is the space that Stoicism gives us to process negative emotions and adverse experiences, transforming them into thoughts that offer us a unique perspective on the world. Perspective is everything. Every person in the world has different experiences, and therefore different perspectives on things. Just as the Stoics gathered and taught philosophy in public spaces, their general philosophy was widely known. They believed Stoic principles could greatly benefit everyone, from slaves to emperors. Some of the most notable Stoics in history include Epictetus, a freed slave, Seneca, a renowned statesman, and Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor and one of the most powerful men to have ever lived. Early Stoics practiced what they preached, avoiding all forms of segregation and leading the fight against inequality. They even coined the word cosmopolitan, which literally means citizen of the world. At the time Stoicism was founded, women weren't allowed to pursue philosophy, but the Stoics strongly disagreed with that. Musonius Rufus, Epictetus's teacher, once said, "Not only do men possess a natural desire and inclination toward virtue, women do too. Women delight no less than men in noble and just actions and reject the opposite." So why do so many people adopt Stoicism as a way of life? In a world full of unexpected events, our emotions tend to get in the way. In truth, we don't get upset because bad things happen to us. We get upset because bad and unexpected things happen. Rain is a good thing. It waters plants, feeds the livestock, keeps the temperature cool and humid. But when we're caught in a downpour without an umbrella, it never feels like a good experience. So why don't we cry when it starts to rain? Because even though the situation isn't pleasant, we've learned to expect it. We can't control the weather. And in the end, the rain passes and the light returns. Stoicism teaches us that in the same way, we should expect all the bad things that will happen to actually happen. One powerful Stoic practice is voluntary discomfort, an exercise meant to increase feelings of gratitude. Sleep on the kitchen floor, take cold showers instead of hot ones, eat only potatoes for a few days, things like that. The goal of this practice is to realize that no matter how hard things get, you'll survive, and maybe even thrive, if your mindset is right. By putting ourselves through these uncomfortable situations, we are indirectly preparing our minds for future hardships. In today's world, where advertising constantly makes us believe we'll only be happy if we have the best of everything, the perfect look, or a certain amount of money, the message of Stoicism has never been more important. We're born into this world knowing almost nothing. We grow up learning things at home, at school, and through our own experiences. The problem is, those three sources often teach us very different things. If we internalize all of it, we may accidentally create unrealistic expectations for our lives, leaving us disappointed and unfulfilled. That's no way to live. We should focus on improving ourselves for ourselves. We should do things for their own sake, not for praise or status. Placing hope in external rewards for our efforts almost always leads to disappointment. Most of the time, we try to fill this emptiness with external things, buying a fancy car, a bigger house, or even starting a family. Sometimes we do all those things for their external value, not their internal meaning. Stoicism teaches the opposite. We should judge the success of our efforts based on the amount of intention and dedication we put in, not on the outcome. We have to trust the process. To live with less is to untie the social knots that bind us. That's the Stoic way to solve the happiness problem. We should practice self-respect by redirecting our definition of value toward things we can control. By doing so, we stop obsessing over what we can't control, and we begin to live a much happier and more fulfilling life. Stoicism helps us sail through both past and present storms and move toward calmer, more peaceful waters. After all, Stoic philosophy has flourished across many different eras, and yet its truths have withstood the test of time. Today, its lessons still echo deeply, offering guidance and strength to face the challenges of modern life. Ancient wisdom also teaches us to embrace emotional resilience and acceptance. Through the words of Stoic and Buddhist thinkers, we learn to find peace and serenity even in turbulent times. Stoics like Seneca, Epictetus, and Marcus Aurelius believed that true happiness doesn't come from avoiding difficulty, but from cultivating virtue and self-mastery, even in the face of hardship. They emphasized the importance of separating what is within our control, like our attitudes, choices, and values, from what is not, like events and other people's behavior. By focusing only on what we can control and accepting what we cannot, we find a lasting inner peace. The search for purpose and meaning is a constant part of the human experience. As we explore the works of existentialist thinkers like Sartre and Nietzsche, we discover how to forge a path that's authentic and aligned with our deepest values. Stoicism also reminds us of the importance of relationships and community. When we study thinkers like Aristotle, we're guided to build genuine connections and nurture bonds that enrich our journey. Although Stoics focus on developing personal virtue and self-discipline, they never advocated isolation or indifference toward others. Quite the opposite. Stoics believed that interpersonal relationships and communal life were essential to achieving virtue and happiness. Seneca, for example, wrote extensively about friendship and the importance of cultivating sincere and meaningful relationships. He argued that friendship was one of life's greatest treasures, and that we should choose friends who share our values and goals. He also emphasized the need to be useful to others and to contribute positively to society. So both Stoicism and other philosophical systems recognize the importance of building a healthy community as part of the pursuit of a full and meaningful life. They encourage us to cultivate authentic relationships that contribute to our moral and spiritual growth, enriching our personal journey. Our journey here may be ending, but the path to an unbreakable modern life is just beginning. By embracing the timeless wisdom of ancient philosophy, you will be prepared to face anything with authenticity, purpose, and strength. Join us on this quest for excellence and transcendence. Subscribe, share, and begin your journey to becoming truly unbreakable, using Stoic philosophy to live a modern life of fulfillment and meaning. Tasks left undone, since all Roman Empire citizens depended on each other, can also apply to our lives today. We weren't born to act like immobile plants without responsibilities. We are human beings, and we should behave as such. Don't let the temptation of momentary pleasure cloud your judgment. There's no better feeling than knowing you acted correctly and responsibly. Nothing compares to the satisfaction of a job well done. You need to get up. You need to start working. Don't abandon your tasks. The time is now, because you never know how much time you have. Marcus Aurelius wrote this in his personal journal to remind himself of it every day. We should do the same. When in the morning you don't feel like getting up to fulfill your responsibilities, or you're constantly thinking about the weekend, or suffering because it's Monday, remember these words of Marcus Aurelius. Do you agree with Marcus Aurelius' reflection? Do you have any tricks to avoid this type of negative thinking? I look forward to your response in the comments section. Here are 10 Stoic quotes to help you start your day. 1. The only way to happiness is to stop worrying about things that are beyond the power of our will. Epictetus. 2. We are not disturbed by things, but by the view we have of them. Epictetus. 3. The prosperity of another person is not my misfortune. Marcus Aurelius. 4. The secret of happiness is freedom. The secret of freedom is courage. Thucydides. 5. Do not expect events to happen as you wish. Accept them as they happen, so that you can live in peace. Epictetus. 6. What bothers us are not things themselves, but the opinion we have of them. Epictetus. 7. Life is short, and the only time to seek happiness is the present. Seneca. 8. It doesn't matter what happens to you, but how you react to it. Epictetus. 9. Wake up with determination, go to bed with satisfaction. Unknown. These phrases reflect a shared Stoic sentiment. They can serve as powerful reminders of Stoic principles and help guide your thoughts and actions throughout the day. If you're watching this video, it's likely because procrastination is a major problem in your life. In my case, most of my problems arose from procrastination. When you stop doing what you should and delay tasks, all kinds of problems start cropping up. Your productivity decreases, anxiety enters your life, and you start avoiding responsibilities. The worst part is the feeling that you're not doing what you should be doing. Stoics worried greatly about procrastination. We have examples of historical philosophers like Seneca and Marcus Aurelius, who had many responsibilities in their lives and couldn't afford to procrastinate. It's not easy, because we often prefer instant gratification instead of pushing ourselves. Although I've talked about this in depth in my video on discipline, which I recommend you watch after this one, discipline and overcoming procrastination are two complementary tasks. However, it's not impossible. If you're watching this video, it's because you want to change. You want to become productive and take ownership of your mind and actions. Overcoming procrastination will also make you happier, as you'll feel at peace with yourself by acting responsibly. It seems unbelievable that Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, had the same 24 hours in his day as you and I. How did he manage to be an emperor, govern the most powerful empire of antiquity, write, care for his wife, create laws, attend court cases, lead armies, and guide the Roman people through a devastating plague, all while being just, without falling into vices or temptations that other emperors did. The key to Marcus Aurelius's success was that he always had a routine. He developed habits in his life that allowed him to overcome laziness and avoid procrastination. In the end, the key to not procrastinating is having a routine. Marcus Aurelius converted all of his responsibilities into a fundamental part of his life. Just like we need to eat, wash, and sleep, he converted his responsibilities into indispensable tasks, to the point where he couldn't live without fulfilling them. All Stoics, like Aristotle, understood that we are what we do repeatedly. Excellence is not an act, but a habit. For example, for Marcus Aurelius, the day started early. At dawn, when he woke up, he understood that he was getting up to do the work of a human being. There was no time for him to lie in bed, so he started his day by writing in his personal journal, dedicating a few minutes to organize his thoughts and remember what was important. Afterward, he prepared to face his responsibilities and others around him. He would say to himself, "The people you'll meet today may be disrespectful and ungrateful. They will try to irritate and frustrate you." Marcus Aurelius knew that he couldn't let these people affect his judgment and happiness. He understood that he should act as he thought was right. Then, he would tackle the most important responsibilities, wanting to start with them when he was rested and ready to work. He focused on the task at hand as if it were the most important thing in the world. As he wrote in his meditations, there was no room for procrastination in his routine. Maybe you're asking yourself, how can I act like Marcus Aurelius and overcome procrastination? How can I prepare mentally? And what tricks can I follow? In the next part, I'll share 7 tricks that have personally helped me avoid procrastination. I'll break them into 2 parts. The first will be about preparing the mind to not procrastinate, and the second part will be about actions we can take to defeat procrastination. Part 1. Preparing the mind. 1. Change your focus. Procrastination is a first-world problem. We procrastinate because we can afford to. We need to increase the sense of urgency when performing our responsibilities. When we procrastinate and leave tasks for the last minute, it's because we work under pressure. So one way to overcome procrastination is to create our own deadlines and increase our urgency. 2. Avoid low-level distractions. Usually, when we procrastinate, we replace important tasks with low-level distractions. These distractions do nothing to help us, and in the end, we know we should be doing something else. Therefore, work first and enjoy later. 3. Reorganize your responsibilities. Some tasks are difficult or time-consuming, and this can overwhelm us and lead to procrastination. If I ask if you can work for 5 hours straight without distractions, you probably can't. But can you work for 1 hour without distractions? It's more likely. Breaking large tasks into smaller, more manageable ones can help you face your responsibilities and beat procrastination. Part 2. Actions. 4. Take the first step. Every procrastinator knows that the hardest part is starting a task. Once you begin, the hardest part is over. Force yourself to start. Don't think about how long it will take or how hard it will be. Just start with the first step. This will give you the momentum to continue. 5. The 5-second rule. One of the tricks I use in my life is the 5-second rule. You count down from 5 to 0, and when you reach 0, you start the task. The idea is to clear your mind and not overthink. Personally, this trick helps me a lot. Whenever I want to do something I'm avoiding, I count down from 5 and just do it. 6. Pomodoro technique. This technique divides your work into manageable chunks. It's hard to think about working for 5 hours straight, but if you break it down into 25-minute intervals, it's much easier to handle. After 4 25-minute intervals, take a 20-minute break. This technique helps you stay focused and productive. 7. Eliminate distractions. Our brain always seeks the easiest path. If you have your phone, video games, or anything else that distracts you nearby, take them away from your workspace. Design a space free of distractions. Creating an environment that hinders procrastination. Create an environment where the only thing you can do is finish your task. Start by identifying what prevents you from getting your work done, and then remove those distractions from your workspace. This will make procrastination harder to indulge in. Did you find these tips useful for avoiding procrastination? Do you use any other tricks? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Remember, we need discipline to effectively apply all the strategies I mentioned. Without discipline and the desire to change, we won't achieve anything. Solitude from a Stoic perspective. Welcome to another video from the Stoic channel. In today's video, we'll explore a fascinating and deeply rooted topic in Stoic philosophy: solitude. The Stoics saw solitude as a tool for self-discovery and personal growth. Today, we'll explore 10 benefits of solitude from a Stoic perspective and how you can apply them to your modern life. Don't forget to subscribe and activate the bell for more philosophical content. Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments. Stoicism and solitude. Before diving into the benefits, let me briefly introduce the world of Stoicism and how solitude plays an important role in this philosophy of life. The value of solitude in Stoicism. At the heart of Stoicism, we find a profound appreciation for solitude. Unlike how modern society often perceives it, the Stoics did not see solitude as a source of sadness. On the contrary, they considered it a valuable space for introspection, self-knowledge, and moral growth. In a noisy and distracted world, the Stoics saw solitude as a wise teacher, offering moments of peace and isolation where we can face our true feelings, desires, and values, without the masks we wear in society. The pursuit of self-sufficiency. The Stoics embraced self-sufficiency, or inner independence and emotional control. In solitude, they saw an opportunity to develop this self-sufficiency, as being alone meant not depending on others' opinions or expectations to find peace and happiness. Solitude allowed them to cultivate inner strength that remained unaffected by external fluctuations in the world. Deep self-knowledge. A key theme in Stoic philosophy is deep self-knowledge. Solitude provides a safe space to look inward and explore the hidden corners of our mind and heart, which we rarely consider. Imagine solitude as a mirror reflecting the true self, silently allowing us to face the truth within us and discover what truly motivates us. Self-sufficiency and self-awareness. The Stoics viewed deep self-knowledge as essential for attaining inner independence, freeing us from the need for external validation. By understanding who we really are, we can stop seeking approval from others and begin to find it within ourselves. This self-sufficiency brings lasting peace, as we are no longer affected by the ever-changing opinions of the outside world. Internal dialogue. A powerful aspect of self-awareness is the internal dialogue. Imagine sitting alone as an intellectual and compassionate friend, reflecting on your choices, desires, and mistakes. This honest dialogue helps us understand ourselves better and also allows us to make decisions that align with our true nature and values. To discover yourself through dialogue, the art of internal dialogue, talking to yourself, is like having a wise and compassionate friend in your mind. In solitude, we engage in conversations with ourselves, uncovering our thoughts, desires, and values. Solitude provides a safe space where we can speak without judgment, reflecting on our lives with calmness and allowing for contemplation. Imagine solitude as a reflective studio where you explore the deepest questions of your existence. When we are alone, we can take time to reflect on our decisions, goals, and direction. Internal dialogue allows us to ask questions, challenge our beliefs, and explore new perspectives. The power of deep questions. The Stoics believed in the power of reflective questions and self-discovery. In solitude, we can ask questions that awaken our inner wisdom, such as, what is truly important to me? What qualities do I wish to cultivate? And how can I live in harmony with nature? These questions guide us toward a profound dialogue with ourselves, transforming internal conversation into action. Internal dialogue is not just thinking, it is also action. In solitude, we can plan how to apply our reflections to everyday life. Internal dialogue helps us put wisdom into action, set goals, and make decisions aligned with our deepest values. Connection with nature and the universe. Now we come to a theme that connects us to the vastness of the universe. Our connection with nature and the cosmos from a Stoic perspective. We can look at the stars in the sky and feel that we are part of something much larger than ourselves. This connection with the universe invites us to reflect on our existence and our role in the cosmic order. Reflecting on nature, imagine solitude as a bridge between your mind and nature. When we are alone, we can stroll through the forest, contemplate the sea, or simply enjoy the sunset. Solitude offers the opportunity to appreciate natural beauty and see how nature reflects Stoic virtues like harmony and steadfastness, mediocrity and presumption. The Stoics believed in the relative triviality of human affairs compared to the cosmic order. In solitude, we can reflect on how our individual desires and interests fade into the vast universe. This perspective helps us give less importance to trivialities and focus on what truly matters. Virtue and wisdom. Finding harmony with nature was essential for the Stoics in their quest for inner peace. In solitude, we can discover how our actions and decisions fit into the cosmic order, reflecting on how our choices affect others and the environment around us, cultivating virtue and inner tranquility. Now, we arrive at a theme that encapsulates the heart of Stoicism, the cultivation of virtue and inner peace. Have you ever wanted to live with wisdom and peace amidst life's trials? Solitude can be your guide on this noble path. Virtue as the final goal. For the Stoics, virtue was the highest aspiration. Imagine virtue as a beacon that guides your actions and decisions in life. In solitude, you can reflect on how to live virtuously in different circumstances, finding inner peace. Inner tranquility is one of the most precious pillars of Stoicism. Amidst the chaos of life, solitude helps you find peaceful purpose. You can meditate on how to maintain serenity in difficult situations and use solitude as an oasis to recharge emotionally. Solitude as a school of self-discipline. The Stoics understood that self-discipline was essential for cultivating virtue and equanimity. Solitude offers the space for you to practice self-discipline in small ways, such as resisting the temptation of distractions and focusing on what truly matters. This practice strengthens you to face temptations and challenges in everyday life. Self-reflection and continuous improvement. Solitude is fertile ground for reflection and self-transcendence. In solitude, you can examine your past actions, identify areas where you can grow, and set goals to become a more ethical and balanced person. Solitude offers the space to cultivate a continuous commitment to your personal growth as you navigate modern life. We can apply these Stoic teachings by finding moments of solitude to nurture our self-sufficiency, face our emotions with serenity, make informed decisions, and above all, seek virtue and inner peace. Remember, you have the power to create moments of solitude in your life, whether through meditation, contemplation in nature, reflective reading, or self-dialogue. By doing so, you are following in the footsteps of the ancient Stoics, walking a path of self-discovery and spiritual growth. Thank you for watching and sharing this philosophical journey with us. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel for more inspiring content, and leave your comment. Share your experiences with solitude and Stoicism. Always remember that solitude can be a powerful ally in becoming the best version of yourself. Until next time.